So here's an interesting story from last week. You might not think it's interesting at all. I have no idea what your preferences are. Sorry. And before we go on, yes, I do have oral herpes right there. Huh? I cut the tension. I broke the ice. I know you were staring, and I was knowing that you were staring. Well, I'm glad we got that cleared up. Too bad we can't get this cleared up. Am I right? So the other day I was at a restaurant, a dim sum restaurant, and if you don't know what a dim sum restaurant is, it's basically a restaurant, and I said restaurant way too many times right there. Okay, so the dim sum place is basically an Asian restaurant, a Chinese restaurant. I keep on saying restaurant too many times! Okay, let's do this again. Here we go. Are you ready? I'm ready. And I'm actually talking to myself. Not just towards the camera in front of imaginary people right now. I'm actually talking to myself. We have a problem, Houston. And it's supposed to be Houston, we have a problem. I'm done with this video. No, I'm not. We're back. Okay, here we go. Third time's the charm. And I'm still talking to myself. I hate it. Sorry, let's go. For real. For reals, as the internet people say. Does this shirt look like purplish to you? Maybe pink? I don't know. And this is supposed to be orange. Something wrong with my camera. Huh. My favorite part about this video is that it's supposed to be about a dim sum restaurant, but so far it hasn't even started yet, and it's like 2 minutes in. Dim sum is basically a Chinese restaurant with mostly women pushing food carts around tables and yelling out what they have on their carts. It's basically like the guy who sells peanuts at a baseball game. You know, the guy who's like, peanuts here? Get your peanuts. But more like, spring rolls here? Get your spring rolls. But not in that voice, in more Chinesey. Well, I'm glad we took 10 years to explain what a dim sum restaurant is. Congratulations, Tony. You are a slow... I like how I said slow and I actually was slow and I couldn't think of anything. That's just great. Okay, so I was in line waiting for a seat when this family comes in, you know, with parents and these two young girls. I wasn't really paying attention, but I felt that one of them was staring at me. And then my feeling was right, because they actually came back without the parents and they stood in the corner and they were like giggling, whispering to each other, and I was like, something strange is going on here. I didn't actually say that out loud. I was thinking in my mind. Yes, in that voice too. Something strange is going on around here. Okay, so then one of them whips out a cellular telephone and starts taking pictures. But they weren't even actually saying they were taking pictures, but I knew they were. I mean, they were giggling, staring at me with a camera, and then I'm like, okay, this is kind of awkward. Do you not realize that I know you're doing this because you're 5 feet away from me? Seriously, if you're gonna do this secretly, incognito mode, if you will, you should have been at least 15 feet away from me. I mean, come on. Seriously, you were like 5 feet away, like this is like 5 feet away from me, and then you were like giggling and talking so loudly. Is that him? I think that's him. Yeah, let's take a picture. We're Asian. Okay, let's get this clear now. They didn't actually do this thing. Oh, I'm so annoyed. I'm not even annoyed that they were doing it. I really don't mind, but I'm annoyed that they were doing it so badly. Come on, you're so close. Why would you do that? I can hear you. I will make a video about it, and that's what I'm doing right now. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Tony, why are you making fun of little girls? Look, listen, I'm technically not making fun of them. I'm just stating the obvious facts of what happened on that day, and, okay, yeah, maybe I am making fun of them. Okay. I'm a horrible person and I accept that. So I eventually get a table for my family and we sit down, we have some food, and all of a sudden these two like 40-year-old dudes stand right beside me in the aisle of where the tables are, and I'm like, what are you doing? Here's a diagram of what was happening. what are you doing? This is the lineup here, and you're waiting in line for a table, and you're standing in the middle of the freaking aisle beside me. What? Your asses are like in my face. What the f? So I'm sitting there enjoying my meal when these two guys are still beside me, and I start to listen in on their conversation. So one of the guys tells the other one about his son, and he was like, yeah, we recently got a TV for his room. Yeah, we put it in there, put it all together. It's a nice setup. You should come by and see it sometime. And I was thinking, oh, that's a nice story. But then it got weird. So his story kept on going. I wasn't really paying attention anymore, but then something caught my ear. He said, oh yeah, there was Vaseline everywhere, sprayed all over the TV, the shelves. We had no idea what happened in there. What? Yeah, I think I know what happened in there, and I do believe that everyone watching this, I think everyone in the entire world who's old enough would know what happened in there. I mean, a young boy with Vaseline all over his room. You were once a young man as well, sir. I mean, come on. And if you don't know what I'm trying to convey here, basically it's that, your son has some weird-ass aggressive masturbation techniques. I eventually stopped listening to their conversation, but then I noticed a girl at the next table staring at me. She was like 10 feet away from me, which of course is not the proper range if you want to stare awkwardly at me. It's 15 feet away, remember that. Yes, that's right. Before you made first contact with me, I already knew you were staring. That's right. I knew you and your friends or your sister, whoever they were, all staring. I knew. How embarrassing. And by first contact, I mean they actually stood up and walked towards my table and asked me if I was the wine cone. I said yes, and they said, I can has your picture taken? But not really like that at all, since they're not lolcats. Two of them actually ended up taking a picture with me, which was nice, it was enjoyable, and I said, so, do you need money for a new cellular telephone? Because my hotness probably burned the circuits out of your current one. I didn't say that. There was like 4 girls at that table, and I don't know who it was, but one of them actually high-fived me. And I don't know about you, Asian girl, but did you also feel the surge of electricity flowing through our hands and fingertips when we touched? I sure did. And I think we should... I'm not going to... I don't know how old you are, and I'm not going to finish that sentence. Oh my god, give me your number now. I'm so desperate.